Okay, so this is the intro. Welcome. If you don't want to watch and you just want to build, what you need is one strand weapon, primary or heavy, and then you're gonna need these fragments: dreaded generation, continuity, mind, and propagation. And then you're gonna need a shackle grenade and a bayant leap. In your artifact, you're gonna need untangler, threaded blast, and counterweave. That's all. So I'm using Quicksilver Storm with the catalyst, so it's a strand weapon, and you can see final blows create tangles, which will be important for our build. To explain the build a little bit, it's a suspension build, so it's going to suspend targets, and that's the whole point of the build. First way we can suspend targets is if we create a tangle and then shoot the tangle with the strand weapon. It's going to suspend the targets around it. You can create tangles with your melee. I used Quicksilver just because it's pretty simple to make a tangle every time you get a grenade kill. Second way to suspend is your class ability, and with Drengar's Lash it increases the area and the enemies you're going to suspend. The third way is with your grenade, and that's going to suspend the same as your class ability. You just throw it and then it will suspend whatever it hits and a little bit around it. So you can chain these suspensions and just keep suspending targets over and over and over. And then you can see we get woven mail, and that just helps us survive a little bit more. So champions with this build aren't really a problem. There, he's still suspended, but the cave's making him look weird, so it looks like he's not. But those are the three main parts. What you're gonna need is Towering Barricade. You can use this piece of trash if you want, but I don't like it. They're gonna throw nades over it. You're gonna die. It's not fun. And you only get 10 seconds faster, which doesn't matter in our build. You need a shackle grenade because we're suspending people and we're tangling them up. Nice. You need these two because they're the only ones, but specifically for this build they work together pretty well. So Drengar's Lash is going to work with our exotic, which is going to suspend everybody in front of your class ability basically. So whenever we use this, every 48 seconds, quote unquote, we're gonna suspend everybody. Sorry, I'm sick right now. But this one, it's gonna destroy tangles, or like whenever we destroy tangles, the area is gonna give us woven mail, that little pulsing thing. And then it also gives us more melee energy when we have woven mail, which works great with our build because we're gonna always be making tangles and we're always gonna have woven mail pretty much whenever it counts. Dealing damage gives grenade energy. That's good for us because we want more grenades. Every time we have a grenade we can shackle people. I use threaded continuity because we're gonna suspend everybody, so the longer they're suspended, the better for us, and the more time we have to wait for other abilities. So say you throw a grenade, then you're gonna wait, and then you know what I mean. Thread of Mind. You need this because you're gonna be suspending everything, so the more targets you suspend, then you're gonna kill them, and then you get your class ability back faster. Your primary thing to suspend people is your class ability because we get it back so fast. And then if you need to, you throw the nade, and then once you throw the nade, you'll see how it works. The fourth slot is a free slot. So it doesn't matter what you put here, but my suggestions are threat of propagation because that helps you with the anti-barrier. Anti-barrier is the only one that can block suspension. When they're in their little bubble, that will block your nade and it'll block your class ability Drengar Lashes. So that's annoying. And what do you call that? The other choices are Wisdom. This just means every time you kill a suspended target, which is gonna be most of your targets, you're gonna make an orb of power, which will help you out with our armor mods, and it just helps you out overall. The other ones were Isolation. Landing rapid precision hits emits a severing burst. That just means they do less damage to you when they're running around. This is just good because most of the strand weapons are pretty fast firing, like Rufus's Fury, Quicksilver Storm. Round Robin is not that fast, but you get the idea. If you have like Quicksilver Storm, you're spamming some target that's suspended in their face, you're gonna get a lot of these sever procs. And I think the last one was Transmutation. This just means while you have Woven Mail, then you're gonna make more tangles. This is something you want to use if you can't make enough tangles. I'm making tangles off cooldown, like it's 15 seconds I think before you can make another tangle. But with Quicksilver Storm, every time I shoot a nade, it basically kills a non-boss target. So then I'm gonna make a tangle every time if it's off cooldown. And then if you can't do that, and you have like Rufus Fury, Round Robin, and you're struggling to make tangles, you just add this in, and you're always gonna be making tangles because Woven Mail we get with our boots, and we get it with this every time we destroy a tangle. So then that chains with you, and that will help you a little bit. So yeah. The other ones are kind of trash, and like Threat of Binding, super final blows a minute suspending burst from the target. Doesn't matter at all, because every time you punch with the left click, you basically get a right click, and the right click suspends everything around you, so this is useless. But like all the other ones are kind of trash. You can maybe find one that's good, but those are my recommendations. So for your artifact mod, you're going to need Untangler, Counterweave, and Threaded Blast. A little bit about why. Untangler means anytime you make a tangle, you can shoot it with your strand weapon. Strand weapons also break them a little bit faster if you like. But when you shoot it, it's going to suspend every target around that tangle in a little area. And then Threaded Blast will just make the area that this tangle blows up into bigger. So that with this means it's going to be a bigger area you're suspending targets in. Counterweave just means you're going to get your abilities back faster. So I play solo a lot. I think this helps solo, but if you're ever in a fire team, this is always going to help you because people will be stunning unstops, barrier champs, whatever all the time, especially overloads. And then that's going to give you so much ability energy. It's insane. For Origin Hones and Divine Armory, I just use those because I feel like they help the Quicksilver Storm with its rockets. Allied Unraveling, I just use that because Quicksilver Storm, you get a lot of final blows with the grenade launcher, and then Unraveling rounds is supposed to give you anti-barrier rounds for barrier champs, but sometimes it doesn't work. I don't know why. So to go over the mods, I'm not going to go over the first row, the stat mods or whatever. Just basically try to get 100 resilience, and then in priority wise, you want recovery, then discipline, then intellect. I know a lot of people do a lot of intellect. I just got lucky with my stats, but you want discipline as high as you can get it after resilience, and then recovery if you're struggling to stay alive, like if you can't survive long enough. But resilience will make our class ability get back faster, and that means we suspend things, and then discipline is going to give us our nade back faster. And then for the other mods, I put heavy animal finder just because I know everybody kind of runs that. So to make the helmet mods a little more flexible, you don't need any of these if you don't want them. But if you want to make the build better, use Dynamo. That just reduces our super when we're using our class ability near targets, because that's like 90% of the time we're going to be using our class ability near target because we want to suspend them. And then for the arm mods, I use Fauna Focus just to boost my discipline because my discipline sucks. But I would recommend this unless you have like almost max, just because there's not really anything better for this build. And then I use 2 bolstering detonations just because that means our class ability energy will give us, our grenade will give us class ability energy. So that starts that synergy between the grenade and the class ability. And then we're trying to maximize that. Here I just did some beefy stuff just to help me survive a little bit more. So this one's just to generate some armor charges. And then this one's to use the armor charges. And it's just kind of like a fail safe if I'm getting demolished. This is the same. I'm just trying to get more armor charges. For this, I just do it for survivability. You can see this build barely requires any mods. Like these are all just random garbage that don't have anything to do with the build. But they help you with your survivability because when you don't have woven mail, sometimes things can do a lot of damage, and then these will save you. Especially this one, because you just start regenerating and then you can hide or put up your barricade and then get your health back. Innervation I use because that reduces our grenade cooldown each time we pick up an orb of power. And then each time we pick up an orb of power, we're going to get armor charges, so we're going to be synergizing there. Distribution I use because we reduce all ability cooldowns when you use your class ability near your target. And if you remember up here, when we use our class ability near your target, we reduce our super cooldown. So that's going to reduce all abilities and our super. And then we just keep spamming our class abilities, so we're going to get everything back really fast. After using your class ability, your next weapon final blow spawns an orb of power. That's just a generator I found just to have more orbs of power when I'm solo, because when you're in a group, people will generate orbs of power and you always have like 6 armor charges or whatever. But when you're on your own, you need to generate some, so that helps. Alright, so just to demonstrate the build a little bit, I'm gonna go in a lost sector and just use it, and then you guys can kind of visually see how it works. So for this build I'm using Quicksilver Storm, and just to recap, final blows with grenades from this weapon make tangles, so you'll see me using that a lot, just because it's pretty easy to, like right there, boom, tangle, this guy's running at me, now he's suspended. I still have all of my abilities. Start shooting with a shotgun, whatever, do whatever you want. Oh no, he's gonna escape, Put him back. And then because I was close to him, I got some class ability back from that. I'll just finish him, but. And then we get a tangle from that. I'm just gonna throw it because I can. So I'll use my class ability again. Don't even need to, but I'm gonna do it. And you see we're making tangles on whatever we can. That's what I'm talking about. They block your nade, but it doesn't even matter because you can just suspend them with the other ability. But if you're too slow, they'll block your nade, and then you gotta deal with that. Using the tangles, it's harder for them to block it, but. And then I'll let him escape one more time, even though we can finish it. And then we got another tangle. Doesn't matter. You're not getting out. Got another tangle. Like, this build's insane. And then Quicksilver Storm got buffed. I don't know if that buffed the grenade launcher. It feels like it. This is a Master Lost Sector. So he's suspended. He's not going to be doing anything. Just keep blasting him. Oh, they're coming, they're coming. Oh, it's 2 champions. Messed up the timing, so that guy might escape. But it's alright. I'm not going to use my super just because I can. And again, we just keep spamming. Spam all your abilities. Actually, don't spam, just rotate them. And the melee you can use whenever you want. Like, it's not a big deal. And we're so tanky, it doesn't matter. Suspend him again. Keep going. Look at this, I'm just sitting here, doing nothing. Doesn't matter if he escapes, just kill him again. And again, you always want to prioritize using the class ability first, because it gets back way faster. And then, when you need to, you can use the nade for last minute tangles. Look at that, suspended. Can't do anything. I just wasted my super pretty much, and it doesn't even matter. Look at that. Dead. Oh, I got a tangle from that too. Oh, there's another one. Doesn't matter. He's tangled. Done. And like you could see that thread of isolation, I think it was called. If you get multiple precision hits, you get something. But like you can see when they're suspended, you're gonna get a ton of precision hits. And like this boss is not the brightest, but when we don't have woven mail, you kind of want to be a little more careful, but still it doesn't really matter. Gotta do that later. So like all these guys came out, 2 champs, doesn't matter. Nate gets both of them. Let's just use my rock. I don't care. And then the reason I like Quicksilver Storm is you use so many grenades with it. And then again, just tangle them up. Almost halfway back to the class ability already. And we have woven mail though, so we didn't die. And then if you ever see an ad like that guy, he's a little tanky, but with Quicksilver Storm especially, you want to use this nade launcher and just kill like an ad, and then you get a tangle, and then you just suspend everybody. Just gonna use my shotgun to wrap it up faster. There, I just wasted the nade just to get rid of his shield a little bit. The nade does barely any damage, but that barely did 4 to his shield. One thing I like about this is you can also use the melees for movement, because there's not really any healing with this class other than when you pick up an orb of power. So you need to move to safe places quickly if you need. And then we got our super, we didn't even barely do anything. And that's the whole lost sector. Wasn't really paying attention there, but it didn't matter because we suspend everything that doesn't do anything to you. So you can't die.